Wow, this camera's so much better than my old camera. I also got a new phone. So if we have to ever do spontaneous filming again on my phone, it won't be like my old phone. It's my first video of 2020. I don't even know how to start a video anymore. So it's Kate, and I am in America. I've been in America for the past few weeks, and I miss Korea so much. I said I was gonna do this video a while ago, the study abroad Korea Q&A thing, and I don't know, it's a lot. I feel like it's gonna be a really long video because there's a lot of questions. I didn't think there'd be that many questions, but after I put the sticker on my story, you know, I just kind of let it just go out into the world and let people ask questions. And then when I looked at it at the end, there were like so many questions, and I was like, ah, okay. So I like wrote them down in my notes on my phone. And I tried putting them in an order that makes sense, but it might not make, oh well, no, I think it should make sense. I feel like there's kind of a sequence to it. It's not all over the place, so maybe that'll help. I'll also put these questions in like maybe the description or whatever, so you could find what part of the video if you're looking for specific questions, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But if you watch the whole thing, that's awesome. Wait, can you even see my heart? It's a heart. Okay, do I just jump right into this? Just boo. Let's get it. Is there like funky question music I could play in the background? I feel like there is. I'm gonna look it up and I'll put it in. Cue the music. Number 1, what school do you go to in California? I go to UC Santa Barbara. What year are you in and what is your major? I'm a 4th year, but I'm like done with school. Like studying abroad was my last semester of school. So that's where I stand in my education. And my major is sociology and Japanese language. What classes did you take at Yonsei? Everybody thinks I took this like the easiest classes ever. Like posted on my story sometime. I took understanding K-pop, Korean pop culture and wave, traditional Korean society. That one was a little harder because I don't know anything about traditional Korean society. And KLI, which is the Yonsei like intensive Korean language course, and it's every day for 2 hours. So yeah, it was pretty intensive. Did your teachers ever talk to you in Korean? Yes. So like my normal classes, like the understanding K-pop, the traditional society, and the Korean pop culture and wave, they spoke in English. Like those classes are supposed to be taught in English, but the Korean language one, they speak to you in Korean like all the time, like starting from day 1. I remember our teacher walked into the classroom and she just started speaking like full-on Korean, and I was like, wow, this is happening. Like this is already the intensive. And like I understand Korean, so I mean I feel like I could have taken a higher level and like challenged myself, but I didn't want to do that because I wanted to have fun and not really study when I was abroad. So I took the level 1. So I understood what was going on, but people who never took Korean before, it was a little harder for them. So just, yeah, if you take the language and if you take intensive, it is intensive, just for your information, for your well-being, for your future class selection. If you're thinking about studying abroad there, intensive is intensive. How did you get to study abroad? What program did you go through? Like that. So I went to, I can't speak English. So I go to UCSB, which is a UC school, and the UC schools have like a really good study abroad program, department. I don't really know what it's, I think it's program, but they have a really good like system to like send people abroad, UCEAP. So that's how I got to go abroad, like through the UCEAP program. And like, how did I do it? Like I just went to the office and I was like, I want to go to Korea. And then they were like, okay, pay attention to like all the deadlines and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And it was really easy. Like if you go to a UC and you want to study abroad, it's like pretty easy to study abroad. I know there's other programs like CIEE, which is what my friend Alyssa did. I don't know anything about it, so I only really know about the UC program. How did you decide which school to apply to? Oh yeah, so I went to Yonsei, and you don't really get a choice through UC. Like you could only go to Yonsei because that's the only school I guess they have like a tie with. So it wasn't really, I didn't really decide. I guess the school decided for me. How much was it? If I had $1 for every time somebody said, how much was studying abroad? Where did you get the money for studying abroad? How do you afford all of this? I would have enough money to study abroad again. So I get financial aid from like my regular school, like from Santa Barbara, all the financial aid I normally get for like a quarter just went towards studying abroad. I'm like thinking a lot right now because I don't know any of the numbers. I really don't know off the top of my head. I feel like it was like, okay, I don't want to say a number and it'd be completely wrong, but if you like want to study abroad, they will give you like a breakdown of the cost of everything. And for me, it was cheaper than doing a quarter at Santa Barbara, which was like a perk in itself. I could look it up and then like put it in when I edit. Bing. Did you save up prior to leaving? Yes, I saved a lot of money because I knew when I was in Korea I wanted to do so many things. I was gonna want to buy so many things. I worked, I knew in the back of my head I was gonna spend it in Korea. And if you are like me and you're obsessive with merchandise and just experiences and everything, then you should save as much money as possible because it'll be so worth it in the end. Did you follow a budget? Kind of. So the thing is, I was gonna do the thing where you like write down every single expense, and then I was like, this just hurts me because I'm not making any money. It's just like me writing down all the money I'm losing. That like really freaked me out. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna follow like a budget in your head. And like I knew how much money I had, like I needed to have for certain things. So like I needed to have money for my rent, I needed to have money for like food and stuff. I like had like a rough budget of what I was willing to spend on like concerts, what I was willing to spend on merch and like that kind of stuff. Basically I wasn't stupid with my money. Just as long as you're not dumb and you don't do anything like really irrational, then I think you'll be okay for money. You can run out of money. I know people who did have some financial issues, so just be smart with it and you'll be okay. How much money should I take? Is Korea expensive? Take as much money as you think you need. Like plan ahead what you want to do. You could find prices for things online, like a rough estimate of like attractions, I guess. Like if you want to go to like an amusement park, if you want to go to a concert, they're usually like around $100 for a ticket, regardless of the seat. Just like $100 for a ticket. Just know how much you want to spend on clothes, like that kind of thing. And like from there you could determine how much money you want to spend. Like for me, I knew I wanted to do a lot of like concerts and stuff, and I didn't really care too much about like clothes. That wasn't one of my priorities when I was budgeting. Like know yourself and know what you want to do, and then as long as you plan ahead, I think you'll be okay. And is Korea expensive? It's more expensive for certain things. Like I definitely think like Western things, like Western brand shampoo, conditioner, whatever that stuff, cosmetics I guess, they're way more expensive in Korea. Western food is definitely more expensive, but if you want Korean food, if you want like Korean makeup, Korean stuff, it's pretty cheap. As long as you're fine with just like using Korean products, then I think it's cheaper than America. But if you are like really picky about like things you eat or like things you like use on your face or whatever, then that's when it could get expensive. Which airline did you fly? How much were your flights? I had a one-way flight to Korea from Hawaii and I took Hawaiian Airlines. And then when I came back home, I flew on Air Mexico because I had a layover in Mexico. And then from Mexico, I had a flight on Delta. And I think the total was like $600 or $700. My parents helped me buy it and they also use their points for flying. So, you know, that helped. Oh my God, my dog's outside. He wants to come in. Burb. Where did you live? I lived off campus in a Koshiwon, which is a really, really tiny room. I think if you watch my first video, you can see how small the room is. It was pretty tiny. But then I moved to a slightly bigger room later on, which is where I filmed like other videos where I was just talking. Did you like living off campus instead of living in the dorms? Yes. I think there were definitely like things I liked and I didn't like. So I liked that I had my own space. I had my own bathroom and everything, which was cool, but it was far from campus. Not like super far from campus. My classes and stuff were like literally on the other side of campus and I lived here. I'd like have to walk a mile to class. I did a lot of walking in Korea. Like the convenience of like living close to your classes, but I mean you get used to it. I was scared to live off campus because like, you know, if you're in dorms, like it's easier to make friends and everything because you know everybody's just there. I feel like I had to try a little harder to like find friends and stuff. So I guess it's up to you. Like if you're fine with like having to put yourself out there and find friends, then maybe you should just do off campus because it was actually cheaper to live there than in the dorms. And if you're trying to save money, then you know what the better option is. How'd you find off-campus housing? So my friend who studied abroad the year before me, she lived off campus her second semester. So I just asked her where she lived and then I was really lazy. So I just stayed where she stayed and it was nice. I really liked it. But you could look on Airbnb. They have like resources for people to find off campus housing because I didn't get housing through the dorms. Like it's not like I was like, I'm just not gonna live in the dorms. Like I wanted to live in the dorms. I applied and I was devastated when I didn't get it. I was like having a freak out at 4 AM. But you know what? It's okay because I wasn't homeless in Korea, which is what my fear was. How did you get around? What transportation do you recommend? I got around solely through walking, subway, and the bus, because I was so afraid to call a taxi because I did not want to get scammed and I just didn't really know how to use taxis. But I do know how to use subways and the bus. You should definitely use like Naver Maps. I think Naver Maps is like the best transportation app. It'll help you, like it's in English, just put where you want to go, and then they use like colors to like indicate which subway, and there's like numbers indicate which bus you need to go on, and it's just a really good app. What is a T-Money card? This, can you even see it? Hello? Oh wait, you can. Okay. This is a T-Money card. Mine's a special BTS one that I ordered. You could just get any regular one at a subway station or in a convenience store, and you just load money onto it, and then you just beep it when you want to go onto like the subway or a bus. I think you could beep it on taxis too. I'm not sure because I did not use the taxis. It's like 1,200 won every time you scan it, and then 30 minutes after you get off of like a bus or a subway, you have like a free transfer, so you don't get charged again. And depending how far you go, the initial scan is 1,200, but if you like go pretty far, then when you scan off, it could take off like an additional like 400, which is like 40 cents. It's not that much. It's pretty cheap to travel around. Was it hard to adjust? Kind of. I feel like it was hard. I don't know, like for me, like when I first got there and for like a while, it felt like I wasn't in Korea. It felt like I wasn't there to study abroad because school didn't start right away. I had jet lag for a little bit. Was it hard to adjust? I think it was hard for me to adjust because school didn't start yet, so I didn't really know anybody. Like I said, like if you're in the dorms, you get to see a bunch of people, but I was by myself for a little bit, and I was with Monique. You know, my initial beginning vlogs, a lot of them were with Monique because she's my friend from America, and I'm like, you know what? I have one friend here, so I'm gonna spend my time with them. That was hard for me to adjust because once Monique left, then I felt like I was like really by myself, and that freaked me out. Once school started, I met other people. I think that's what helped me to like adjust a lot more. But if you're worried about like adjusting in the sense of like language and stuff, I feel like for me, language wasn't too bad of a thing. Food and stuff, like I love Korean food, I love that, so like that was okay for me. But just I feel like adjusting to like being in a new environment with people I don't know, or like having nobody else, that was a little hard. Is there a language barrier? Do you need to be fluent to study abroad in Korea? I feel like if you're in Seoul, there's at least one person who will speak English at the place you're at. Like even if it's not the best English, they'll be able to communicate somewhat. I think a lot of Korean people know like a little bit of English, or just like just enough to like really help you. So I think you're good, but it's definitely not a necessity. Like if you're worried about like not knowing Korean and that's what's holding you back, like that should not be holding you back. Especially because I know like for UC, one of our requirements while we were abroad was to take a Korean language course. So you could either take the intensive one or the regular one. So you're gonna be learning Korean, so that'll help a lot too. Did you only speak Korean while you were there? Did Korean speak to you in Korean? No, I did not only speak Korean. I spoke a lot of English. I spoke Korean when I felt like I needed to speak Korean because I was a little scared to use my Korean because I feel like my Korean's terrible. And Koreans did speak to me in Korean and I would understand, but then I would speak back in English and they're like, what? And I was like, the thing is, I understand you, but I don't really know how to perfectly communicate what I want to say. So like my first reaction would always be to say it in English, and then I'd have to take a step back and just like, you know, think a little more and be like, okay, no, this is what I would say in Korean. Korean people did speak to me in Korean, but if you look like a foreigner, they'll speak to you in English. Can you work while you study abroad? I don't think we could work. I think we could do internships, but like, I don't think we were allowed to work, so I'm not sure about that. How did you prepare to study abroad? I did a lot of planning of what I wanted to do. All the things I wanted to do, I had like a list of like everything. I had like the directions of how to get there. I did a lot of planning going into studying abroad. I think I did do a lot of the stuff on the list. I feel like I sound like a motivational speaker, but it's not gonna happen if you don't plan it out. If you want to go to like run BTS locations, then you have to like go on the internet and you have to look them up. Be more proactive in finding things you want to do, because it's really easy to just be complacent and just like not do anything, and the time will go by so fast. Like I feel like I tried to do as much as I could, but I still ran out of time. Know what you want to do and try to plan as much of it as possible, and like that's not even anything for school. If you're planning to study abroad, then you should plan the class, like what kind of classes you want to do, because for me, I didn't want to take like hard classes. Though like you have to be smart in that sense too. Like if you want to do as much stuff as I did, but you're taking like classes for your major, then it might not work out as well because you're gonna have to focus a lot more on school. But for me, I was just taking kind of like whatever unit classes. I had more flexibility of like being able to skip class, but just being in Korea, that'll just help. Like so you don't have to do all the crazy things like I tried to do. Like you could just go to Korea and just live there, and that's like an experience in itself. Did Korean people know you were a foreigner? How did they treat you? Yes, they did. They could tell you're a foreigner. Like, even though I am Korean and like, I guess I just have an Asian face. Like, if you're definitely not Asian, like, you will stand out and they're gonna assume you're a foreigner. Like, if people were like, oh, are you from America? I'm like, yeah, but I'm Korean. And they're like, so you're Korean American? And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm Korean. And they're like, no, you're Korean American. I thought that was a little weird. They just kind of like stare. I know people have talked about like, you go to Korea and people stare because it's just different. Like, they don't always get to see like foreigners everywhere. Did you go to clubs? Any K-pop clubs? Yes. I went to clubs in Hongdae. They were fun. It was a lot. Like, it's a lot. You have to like get ready to go, and then you take the last subway out and you don't come home until basically the next subway in the morning, and it's literally so exhausting to have to stay out until like 6 a.m. So that wasn't really my thing, and it was fun, but I got sick of it real quick. And did I go to any K-pop clubs? They play K-pop in the clubs, like regardless of it being like just a K-pop club. But I did go to this bar. It was a K-pop bar and it was so fun. It was like my last few nights, or it was my last night hanging out with Gloria and Ian. We went to this K-pop bar and they played like every single BTS song. Like, they were playing like fire, and I was like, oh my god. And I was just going off with the choreo and everything. It was really fun. Did you see any idols on the street? Yes, I did. So I live in Shincheon. If you know what busking is, it's like street performers. I thought these people were busking on Halloween to Momoland's Boom Boom, and I thought that because I mean they're dancing over there, and I was like, oh my god, they're dancing to Boom Boom. I just kept walking home. Turns out it was Momoland. Like, I'm stupid. I don't know what Momoland looks like, but they were just dancing on the street, and like there was a crowd, and I just thought they were like really good at dancing. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And then I just went home. How was clothes sizing? I didn't really buy that many clothes. Like, I bought, oh my god, wait, I got the jacket from the pop-up. I didn't say anything about it, but yeah, remember when I went to the pop-up and I didn't get the jacket and I was devastated? I got it. I'm wearing it right now because it's cold. I just keep modeling it because I just love this jacket so much. So I got this jacket. I definitely didn't find any pants in Korea. Pants are so tiny, and I don't even think I can fit my leg through one of the holes. I think oversized clothing is a little more popular right now, so I was able to find clothes, but I do feel like clothes are a little on the smaller side. Oh my god, we're like almost halfway done. Where did you get information on events when you can't speak Korean for things like concerts, cafes, and award shows? Twitter. Twitter was my BFF in Korea. For groups that I really like, I follow them like very closely, where I have their post notifications on, and I'm very up to date with their information. So when BTS announced that they were gonna have a tour, I knew I was gonna be in Korea, so I knew I was gonna try to get tickets for that. I knew for Winner, as soon as they announced the tour, I knew that they were gonna be selling tickets on whatever website because that's what they posted it with, so I kept track of that. For GOT7, I had a feeling that everybody was gonna have a comeback around the same time. If you follow your groups closely enough, you could kind of predict like if they're gonna do an event or whatever. For GOT7, their comeback, I knew they were gonna have a comeback, and I didn't know they were gonna have a comeback stage, but I got to go to it. So just keep track of like, I guess follow your groups, just like know what they're up to right now, if there's a possibility of them being in Korea at the same time as you, doing any events. Award shows, usually the award shows happen at the end of the year, so if you're not going in the fall, then I don't think there's a good chance of you going to an award show in like the spring or whatever. They release tickets and whatever, you could buy it, but most likely you'll have to buy resale. And then cafes. So many people ask me how to do the cafes. I will explain it right now. Okay, I'm gonna do it on my phone and I'll insert the video as I'm talking right now. So I am on my Twitter app, okay? Then you go to search Twitter, and then whose birthday is coming up? Okay, so say I wanted to go to like Hosuk Cafe. So you go, oh my god, why am I getting it? You go to your Korean keyboard and you write Hosuk. The frick, okay, I'm really bad at the Korean. And you do like Cafe. So it says Hosuk Cafe, and then like all this stuff comes up, and then like this event right here. So this will come up and it'll tell you like, welcome to Hobie Candy Shop, and then it'll tell you the location of the cafes. So this one's in Gangnam, and then it'll tell you the days that it's happening. So it's happening from the 15th to the 18th, and you get the cup sleeve. So that's how I find like an event. And then like I keep scrolling and I'm looking, and there's another one. So if I want to go to this one's in Hongdae, which, oh my god, there's one in Hongdae. I'm so sad I'm not gonna be there for Hosuk's birthday, but like basically this is what you do. Like you write the person's name and you write Cafe, and when it's closer to their birthday especially, like fan sites will release more information or more events. And even like then, like if you're in Hongdae and you just find like, say I just go to this event right here, there'll be so many events. Like you'll just walk and you'll run into an event, especially if it's close to your birthday, and especially if it's like a big group like BTS, then there's events everywhere. That's how I find my events. I finally answered the question for people who've been asking me this for a really long time. Is it easier for BTS ticketing in Korea? How did the raffle work? It was easier for me because it was just the easiest I've ever gotten BTS tickets. It happened pretty fast and I got pretty good seats. It was easier, but that was the first time I ever used Global Interpark and that really stressed me out. But I got to go to like an internet cafe and I had really fast internet, so that worked to my advantage. But it's just as competitive, if not more competitive. I remember I was talking in my ticketing video that like the Korean Army next to me, she didn't get tickets, and like people were saying like, oh, Korean Army got it immediately. Like that girl was trying so hard and I felt so bad for her. How did the raffle work? If you have the membership, you go on Weverse or Weplay. I think it was Weplay where you apply and you just like say what days you want to go to and whatever, and I lost both times and it was really sad, but the thing is I got to go anyway, so it worked out in the end. Any tips for going to Korea for the first time? I feel like everything I've been saying so far kind of helps you lead up to going to Korea for the first time. This was my first time in Korea. Show us what you bought in Korea. I can't because there's just so much stuff. This jacket, I got this headband, Sleeping Baby. This, I got this Hoseok thing right there. I got that Yugyeom doll. I got all those cup sleeves right here. Oh, I got this finale blanket. I don't think I could ever do a Korea haul because I honestly don't know where everything is, and just it would be so stressful and be a mess. Was it easy to make new friends at your school? Yeah, I met Alyssa through Twitter beforehand of like even going there, so she was like, I guess, my first friend abroad. I met other people who live like off campus, I guess, because they were all looking for friends. Ian and Gloria. I feel like, did I even make friends in Korea? No, I definitely did, but I didn't make like a lot of friends. I put myself out there. It was a little weird because I usually get really scared of putting myself out there, but it's like kind of like a fight or flight response. Like if you don't do anything, you're gonna be by yourself for the next 4 months. So yeah, I also met Phoebe through Twitter because she runs a low quality Yugyeom account, and then one day the low quality Yugyeom account was tweeting about how they were in Korea, and I was like, wait, I'm in Korea. And then I found out that Phoebe goes to my school and she's in my classes. That was crazy. Did you do things by yourself? Was it scary? Yes, I did, and it was terrifying at first. You know how I said Monique left Korea? I did not leave my room for like 3 days because I was so scared to do things. Like I didn't even leave to get food. I don't even know what I survived off of for 3 days, but I was so scared to do things by myself. And then one day I was just too hungry to not stay in my room, so I went out and I bought something and I came back to my room. And then I just saw that people just eat by themselves, and I was like, wait, what? And then that's when I realized nobody cares if you're by yourself. Like I had this really big self-conscious thing where I'm like, oh my god, people are gonna think I'm such a loser because I'm eating by myself. Nobody cares. Literally nobody looks at you. Nobody like is even bothered. They're not like, oh my gosh, she's by herself, that's so sad. Like they're just minding their own business, and like I respect that. I went to cafes by myself too, like some of the birthday cafes, because like the timing just didn't work out with my friends or whatever, so I just ended up going by myself, and that was completely fine too. But people did look at me weird when I was by myself and I was vlogging. If I was talking to the camera, then that's when they would stop going like, oh, I don't care, and be like, what is she doing? So that's when I was a little more self-conscious. So if you're not gonna vlog, then nobody's gonna really pay attention to you. It's scary, but if you want to do something and nobody else can go with you, just do it. Just like, you'll never see those people again if they do judge you. Just no thoughts, head empty, just go. Are there always BTS cafe events in Korea? No, they're not year-round, but there are a lot of BTS events when there are events. Like if it's around the right time, then there will be a ton. If you're a multi-stan, then you're gonna end up with a cup stack like mine. How did you find birthday events? I explained it. How did you bring home all those cup sleeves? So do you see those cup sleeves right here? Can you see them? I think these are Jin and Shimin ones. Oh no, there's Jungkook. To transport these home, I made the stack, okay? And then you see this part right here. I shoved my socks and my underwear in here so they wouldn't lose their shape. And I just brought home stacks of them. Somebody asked to see a cup sleeve collection. I mean, if you really want to see them, I could do it. Where is the best place to stay in Korea? I'm really biased towards this because I only stayed in Seoul. So I guess the best place to stay in Korea is Seoul. Where did you go the most during your stay? The Line store. I went to the Line store all the time. Where else did I go a lot? There's also this bar me and Alyssa really liked. I went there a lot. Oh, and I went to the convenience store every day to get a snack, to get a meal. I went there all the time. Did you learn Korean? Nah. What was the weather like? Oh my god. Let me tell you, I did not stop complaining about how hot I was from August 21st, which is when I landed, until like October 6th. It was so hot. I felt like I was dying. And then one day, actually no, for like 5 days, I was like, wow, this weather's pretty nice. And then it got cold. I think maybe the weather wasn't the best for when I went, in the sense where like it wasn't nice weather. It was either hot, it was okay for a little bit, and then it was cold. But if you study abroad in the spring, I heard spring in Korea is the best. So yeah, would you recommend studying abroad? Yes, 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 yes. Do it, do it, do it. Because it was one of the best experiences of my life. And like, even if you don't go to Korea, just go abroad and experience something new. If you have the opportunity to, you definitely should. Did you get tattoos in Korea? Yes, I did. This is my first one, and then this one was my second one, and then I got this one. Oh my god, my camera's dying. Okay, we gotta go through these questions a little faster. Where did you buy merchandise? I bought merch at like the pop-up store and like concert, but go to Myeongdong if you want to buy albums for sure. And there's like unofficial merchandise down there. You could buy light sticks. Yeah, there's a ton of merch in Myeongdong. An album is probably like $13. How are you able to do all the things you did while still going to school? Nobody knows I went to school abroad. Every time like I see someone, they're like, oh, how was Korea? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, it was fine. School was good. And they're like, you were in school? And I'm like, but my classes were easy, and I like chose classes that were flexible for me to like do stuff I want to do. So if you're planning to take like major classes, it'll be harder for you to do stuff because you definitely have to study more. What was a normal day for you like? I would wake up and I'd either work out before class or after class. Then I'd come home, shower, then I would eat something and then go to my next class, or I would stay back and I'd take a nap until my class at 4 o'clock. because I had class every day at 4 o'clock. And then after class, me and Alyssa would probably eat dinner together. And then after that, I'd either come home because I have to do stuff, or we would go drink. And that's like a normal day. Those were like school days. What was your favorite memories from Korea? Oh, I'm gonna cry. I feel like anything I did with like my friends, anything I vlogged, I definitely like love those experiences and memories. Being able to meet so many people and like do things that I never thought I'd be able to do before. One of my favorite memories is when Crystal and like Ashley and everyone, they came to Korea for finale, and then we got to eat at Kujip, and it was so fun. Like that was one of my favorite memories from Korea. But also just like being able to hang out with my friends and do the like BTS things I really wanted to do with people who also equally love BTS. It's like, it was so fun. How did you buy concert tickets? Is the process different? Yes, because usually in America they either use AXS or Ticketmaster. In Korea there's like a bunch of different websites. My camera just died. For every concert, the group announces what website they will be using. Yeah, I just know Global Interpark for sure for BTS ticketing. Which concerts are better, America or Korea? It's so different for BTS. Like I could tell they were way more relaxed in Korea than they are in America. Like there's like a different kind of like comfortableness that they were like showing with the crowd and stuff, like how they could just be themselves, or like, you know, I think in America like when they joke around they do their best to do it in English so everybody understands it, but like they were just joking around on stage and I could tell that they were just so like comfortable being in like their home country. But for the environment of a concert, it's so different than America, because in America, you know, like as soon as the lights turn off you stand up and you stay standing until the very end, or even just like you sit during the VCRs but then you stand right back up. Everybody sits the whole concert in Korea, and I was like squirming in my seat. I was like, please let me jump around for Just Dance. How do I not get to do it for Just Dance? It's not common to sing along to the songs, and I love singing along to the songs. Even if I don't really know the lyrics, singing along and dancing is just part of the concert experience, and that's something I didn't really like about Korea. Like especially for the first day. Usually like at concerts it's fine because like everybody's doing it, but if I'm the only person in my section standing and dancing, like I can't do that. Like I'm so like, I don't want to be that foreigner. But then the last day when I was sitting next to Crystal, oh my god, we did not care. We were like dancing and stuff. I guess it just depends on who you are as a person. I personally like American concerts better. Top restaurants or food spots. Oh my god. You should go to The House. They have really good food, but go with like friends so you could get more food because it's a little expensive. But if you share everything, it'll be okay. Get Jimtak. Jimtak is so good. Get dakgalbi. I love dakgalbi. Get barbecue. Just any barbecue. I feel like there's so many good food places in Korea. It's like you won't find a bad one. Like you could go anywhere and I'm sure the food will be great. Or go to Jin's restaurant. Jin's restaurant was so good. It was really different than everything else I ate in Korea because it felt a lot more healthy because I was eating vegetables. You should go there too. What cafes do you recommend going to? Also, cafes are pretty similar to each other. I judge a cafe based on how good their iced choco is. Some that were really good. What's it called? In English it's like, oh, 지금 여기. It was, oh, okay. It's like, the cafe is called 지금 여기, and they have really good cafe events there. And they have really good iced choco that they have like usually at every event. That was a good cafe. My experience from going to cafes was all through like birthday stuff. They were all hosted at really cute cafes. What was the hardest part about studying abroad? I think the hardest part for me, it was being away from home. Really missed my family. I was having fun, but at the same time, like when you see like your friends hanging out at home or you just miss your family, like I think that was the hardest part for me. If you like do enough stuff, you forget about how much you miss home. The pros and cons of studying abroad. Pro, you experience new things in life. You become more cultured. It's super fun. You meet great people. Con, you're away from home. My camera died again. You're away from your friends and your family. That's it. That's the only con I could think of. Are you thinking of furthering your education in Korea? Not really. Well, the next question is, would you work in Korea? I would consider working in Korea, but I don't know if I'd pursue further education. How did you know the places where BTS went and how did you get to those places? And then the next question, I just started combining questions because this video is so long. Places you recommend for ARMY to visit. How do I know the places? Well, like, I watched like the Run BTS episodes and stuff, so like I see them, and like once I saw their names and stuff, I just looked it up. So you can just basically find everything online, but I will be making a video talking about the places I went to and the places I recommend going. And we're on the last question. I feel like I'm being called out. What are you gonna make videos about now that you aren't in Korea? Well, that's an interesting question because, you know, I don't know. I started this YouTube channel because I knew I was gonna study abroad and I wanted to practice vlogging before I went. And then now that I'm done with it, I don't know, I'll probably make more videos. I just don't really know of what. I'm doing this project for Hosuk's birthday and I wanna make a video of that too. So there's like random things, I guess. And we're done with the questions. There was like 50 something questions. But, all right, everyone. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have more questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll probably answer them. Aha, now I gotta edit this. I'm gonna start Hosuk's birthday project now, so maybe I'll start the video now.